Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Which then brings us to the rumor mill. We've got quite the rumor mill. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, Thunderbolts, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, Persona 3, James Bond, Wallace and Gromit, Five Nights at Freddy's the movie, and so much more. Let's get into these rumors, shall we? First up, we do not have any confirmations or refutations, but we do have new sources on a couple of different rumors. First up, we have Blade. There is a new source that confirms that we are still getting the split timeline where the at least part of the movie is going to be told in the 20s, which is very strange considering I don't remember any Blade story that did that in the comic books. So let's just see how that rolls out. This is even after the rewrites, because before the rewrites, that was the rumor, and now apparently, according, again, to this new source for that rumor, even after the rewrites, that's one of the things that's persisting, is this split timeline. So, okay. Next, we're talking about Star Wars. Star Wars, the next 3 Star Wars films are, according to new sources, going to take place in a post-sequel timeline, which means that we are going to see sequel actors in this timeline. So very probable Rey, very probably maybe some references to Kylo and the Knights of Ren and so on and so forth. So that's the kind of stuff we're looking at for the next 3 mainline Star Wars movies, according to rumors. That's all we have for news sources. Let's get into new rumors. First up, we have Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. We've actually got a couple of gaming rumors in this bad boy. So this is the first one. New rumor says that there will, in fact, be a battle pass for the game, but it's not going to be to unlock gear that is going to aid you, and it's not a pay-to-play or pay-to-win kind of situation. It is going to be strictly cosmetic. While we were in our off season, there was a leak that happened that appeared to show that there's going to be a battle pass for this game, and that battle pass is going to have as part of the battle pass things that are required in order to continue to play the game. Now they're saying, yes, there's going to be some sort of battle pass, but it's just going to be for cosmetics, nothing else. So likelihood for this, I feel like, is pretty freaking high because this is the way of the gaming world anymore. I'm going to put this one at about 80% likely because, I mean, I would honestly be very surprised if they didn't, at this point, include some sort of battle pass for a new game. Next rumor has to do with the Thunderbolts movie that's coming out. So we got word a little while ago that Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character of Valentina, Allegra de Fontaine, is going to be in the series. And now we have rumors saying that she is going to be part of the big bad duo for the movie. The other half of that duo is going to be Sentry, who is somehow going to be her creation. I can see it, though technically speaking, this is rumor based on rumor, so there's only so far we can take this, and that is 50% that this rumor is legit. Our next one is another gaming rumor, and this has to do with Super Mario and Sonic. This is actually a game that's come out previously, so it would be a newer iteration of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. It is said to be in early development over at SEGA Studios. This one is less likely because of that last little bit, because Nintendo made the last one, at least that was the name that was put on it. I don't think SEGA is the one that makes these games. Nintendo just licenses SEGA's characters. So I will be honestly pretty surprised if every piece of this rumor comes true. I would imagine eventually we'll see another Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games game. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, and I don't think it's going to be developed by SEGA. So I'm going to put this one at about 30% likelihood that it's legit. Keeping in the vein of video game rumors, we have Persona 3 is rumored to be getting a remake sometime in the not too distant future, and it should be announced sometime soon, according to the rumor source. Not the best rumor source in the world. Also, Persona 3 is kind of a weird place to start with the updating for new consoles because, you know, the 1 and 2. Though the duology, I don't think actually got a modern console update recently. So I could be wrong. Correct me if I am in the comments, please. But I don't know. I feel like Persona 3 is a weird place to start. I'm going to put this one right about 50% because there's not really enough to go on either way. Switching gears back into movie rumors, we have a James Bond rumor. This time it's not Idris Elba that's rumored for the role, but Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's right, Kick-Ass is rumored to be in talks actively to portray 007 next. This is a new source for me. There's no real way to verify this at the moment, so I can't really go very high, though he's kind of having a moment right now, so I wouldn't be too surprised. I'm going to put this one right about 40%, and that's just being conservative. The next rumor that we got on the rumor mill has to do with an older animated series of movies, and that's Wallace and Gromit. The rumor just broke onto the rumor mill scene as I was wrapping up my notes for this episode. Wallace and Gromit reportedly in development for a new movie. Comes from a pretty solid source, so I'm going to put this one at about 60% likelihood. Because it's so new, I haven't been able to get it from any other sources. But again, the source is pretty solid, so yeah, 60% for Wallace and Gromit. We haven't heard anything from Five Nights at Freddy's for a while, and now we have, it's not a news update, but a rumored casting update, which, you know, at this point we'll kind of take wherever we can get it, right? So Five Nights at Freddy's actress Elizabeth Lail has reportedly been cast as Vanessa in Blumhouse's adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, again, there's just a lot of this stuff this week is like, it's there, it's hard to verify though. I'm putting this one, we're going 50% again because there's just been nothing about this for so long, and then all of a sudden we're getting casting. Just seems like maybe not the most solid situation. Then we're talking, all right, so Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is the next big Marvel movie that's coming out, and apparently there has been a leak, and it's a weird leak. It's not exactly a script. It's just the dialogue from the movie has leaked. So there's a lot of detail that isn't exactly there, but there's a lot you can glean from dialogue. So this very possibly is incorrect. The source very potentially is somebody who was given a sheet of paper or a Word document of some sort, a text document of some sort, that they had to then translate into subtitles for the movie, because that's kind of what this looks like in its original form that has been leaked out. So very possibly there are going to be actual spoilers that we're going to discuss here for the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So you've been warned. I'm going to stop tripping over myself and mumbling. Let's get into this. All right, so this all has to do with Kang. These are 3 points that apparently are going to affect the MCU going forward after this movie. First is that Kang was banished, according to this leak. Kang was banished to the quantum realm as a form of prison because it is a realm that exists outside of time. Kang's powers are time-related. If there's no time for him to manipulate, then he can't win, like, effectively. So yeah, that stands to reason. I feel like that's a variation of something that's kind of happened in the book. So that's again an interesting way to go about it. Next one is that Kang is trying to overthrow Entity, in order to get out of the quantum realm and to take over all of existence, because eternity is the entity that is in charge of all of existence. It is essentially, at least as far as the MCU is concerned. So again, stands to reason, if that's the way you got to get out of the quantum realm and take over the existence, then that's the way you got to get over the quantum realm and take over existence. So, and then the third point is that the reason that we are getting incursions, like we were talking about in the Loki series and have kind of sort of passively referenced once or twice since then, is because of all of the Kang variants, each fighting each other and effectively destroying the multiverse in the process. So these are all things that have come out. And then there's one last piece that is actually the post-credit scene. Reportedly, the post-credit scene is supposed to allude to the existence of the Young Avengers, potentially setting up another movie for phase 6 or 7 or something along those lines. So we're just going to do this as one big leak. There's a lot of stuff in here that sounds like it's going to be up to interpretation the way it's presented. I think that we will see a fair amount of this legitimately happen. I don't know about that post-credit scene necessarily, so let's just put this right about 60% and call it good, shall we? And then rounding out the rumor mill, we have 2 more gaming rumors. First up, Metroid Prime 4 has apparently been leaked as far as the announcement is concerned. The leak happened in that it's reportedly going to be in the next Nintendo Direct. Don't know exactly when the next Nintendo Direct is going to happen, but when it does, according to the rumor, we're going to hear about a release date. Very likely not going to be a release date that happens in 2023, but it's been about an appropriate amount of time since we got the announcement they're scrapping everything and starting from scratch with a new developer. So yeah, this stands to reason. I would be very surprised. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen in the next Nintendo Direct, but I would be very surprised if by year's end we don't hear something about Metroid Prime 4. So let's give that a number, shall we? I'm going to say 70% likely, not necessarily because I expect to hear from them about this game in the next Nintendo Direct, but because sometime this year I do. So there you go. And then our final one that takes us out of here is Star Fox. According to this same source, we are very probably going to be seeing Star Fox. This one was a little less specific. Didn't say that it was going to be the next Nintendo Direct, but it did say that sometime this year we're going to be hearing about Star Fox. So again, another franchise I feel like Nintendo's kind of been sitting on for a little bit, so we can get a little bit of a breather because the last few Star Fox games have not been great. So yeah, I would say very likely here too, we're going to say another 70%. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.